Hello and welcome to the Ross Cloud Podcast. I'm your host, Car.Ross Sr. And this platform was created to motivate and to inspire in hopes that you will become a better you. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that's listening all over the world, especially those that are listening right here in our own backyard, right here in North Carolina. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to the Ross Cloud Podcast. And I am here once again with my hostess with the mostest, Miss Candi T.Jeter.
Well, hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain.
Good. Yeah.
I can't complain.
I know that's right.
Still learning and growing.
Yeah, we are every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So listen, we got a great topic for tonight. Well, I won't say tonight. This is day 2. For those that are listening. Oh, man, this is day 2, guys. All right. So today we're going to discuss self-sabotaging and how we can find ourselves doing that to ourselves. Self-sabotaging. So I guess I can, not unless you want to say something before we start, Candi.
No, go into it.
Okay, then. So
this is good.
Yeah, it is. It's real good. So let's talk about what is self-sabotaging. And I'll speak first of all, relationship. We'll start there. What is sabotaging a relationship? Self-sabotaging in relationships involves engaging in behaviors either consciously or unconsciously that lead to the end of a relationship. This might involve pushing the other person away or finding reasons to get out of the relationships. We find a lot of people doing that too. We find a lot of people self-sabotaging their relationships or sabotaging their relationships. So sabotage means deliberately destroy. Destroy, damage, or obstruct something, especially for political or military advantage. The action of sabotaging something. Self-sabotaging. And I'm sure at some point we all have found ourselves doing that, even to ourselves.
Yes.
Even to ourselves, we can find ourselves self-sabotaging something.
Several ways.
Yeah.
I say I want to lose weight and I go out and eat pecan pie. That's definitely self-sabotaging. And I do that probably 3 or 4 times a week.
That's
right?
facts.
Not pecan pie, but self-sabotaging, you know. And when I woke up this morning, I was thinking, okay, I don't really want to go work out because my dad was he had one of them sleepless nights. Mm-hmm. To those who don't know, my father has dementia. So, his hours are off. His days and nights are off.
Yes.
So I was so tired this morning. And I was getting ready to write an excuse, text an excuse to my coach.
Yeah.
And I was like, just writing the words. I was like, it doesn't matter how tired I am. It doesn't matter what has happened. Mm-hmm. What matters is that it's time for my ass to be in the gym.
Yeah.
And if I'm writing this text, I'm making an excuse. So I backed out of it.
Yeah.
And I got myself up and I went on and went to the gym.
Sure.
Because I didn't want to sabotage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's easy to do.
I would have been in denial.
Yeah.
If I had said I wasn't sabotaging, because I could have used my dad as an excuse, like we use kids as an excuse. We use our childhood as an excuse. We use everything as an excuse. Not to be our best self, right?
Sure, yeah.
And why don't we I don't feel like being my best self today.
Right. I'm going to just do me.
I had those days.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I think we should allow ourselves
I don't want to be the bigger person. I want to cuss you out.
Yes.
I want to be the bigger person. Sometimes you don't want to be.
Sometimes you don't want to be good.
You don't want to be.
Sometimes you just want to be bad, right? Sometimes you just want to be.
Yeah.
That's true. And we know that that's a form of self-sabotage.
Yeah.
We know it is.
Yeah.
But the truth is that's just the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And if we would all admit that, I promise you, I just feel like the world would it'll be just a better place.
It would.
Because really, the thing is, you can't be perfect.
Yeah. What if you go to your partner and say, you know what? I don't like you today.
Oh, no. Good luck. Good luck. That's a long evening, Jack. You hear me?
I don't like you today. I've actually done that before.
Yeah.
I did that. I was able to do that, when I was married.
Sure.
I had that feeling and I just needed to say it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that I don't, love you or I've done that.
I just don't like you today.
Yeah, I've done that even with me and my daughter. We have our days and I'm like, I do not
like you today.
I don't like you today. I don't like you today.
Yeah.
And you get that off your chest.
Yeah.
And then that way, you're not really sabotaging.
No,
you're being honest.
You're being so honest.
And you're putting it out there rather than feeling like I don't like you today.
Come on.
And then doing something to create distance there so I can get away from you.
Yes. It's a difference.
It's a difference.
Right. It's a difference. That's so good. So I like that too, though. So here is the aim of sabotaging, right? Mm-hmm. Sabotage seeks to capture physical damage, which may include damaging something directly, but could also involve doing something or omitting to do so, which causes a system failure, triggering damage. For example, interfering with a piece of critical national infrastructure. It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
And that's the aim of it. Okay, here we go. Let's go even further. How do you tell if someone is sabotaging you and you're not sabotaging yourself?
That's a question for real?
Yeah, that's a question.
You can feel it, right?
Yeah, you
ever been in a relationship where even with your friends, where you haven't done anything to them, and they just make up stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And then if you sit down and even talk about it, they know it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, we're not going to be able to solve this because you don't really want to solve it.
You really don't.
That's how you know they sabotaging.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have definitely been in that situation. I was like, really?
Yeah.
There's no problem here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you want to make one,
yeah, I see your
I'm going to let you make it on yourself.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you make that problem yourself. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to just go over here.
Yeah. 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 So here is 6 ways. Here's 6 ways.
Oh, okay.
How do you know if a coworker is sabotaging? No, I wanted to hear your perspective though, because believe it or not, you kind of like you own that, right?
Oh, okay.
So they got 6 of them though.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the first one: they force you to do additional work.
Manipulation,
and guess what? They manipulate you. That's number 6.
Mm-hmm.
They create drama about you. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They tell lies about you to your boss. They don't invite you to important meetings. They take credit for your bright ideas.
Wow. And that's not just in the office.
Nah, man. I've
had all kind of stuff like that. I've had plenty of situations like that.
Yeah, man. So you can if you recognize it, like you said,
Yes.
You kind of know. You can feel it.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, there's nothing going on here. What are you doing?
Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing this?
Yeah. And you already know.
Yeah. And the more you back off and don't do anything, the harder they come at you.
Right?
And you're like, wow, you really gonna keep coming at me like that?
Yeah.
You really gonna try to make an argument?
Yeah.
Or a problem?
I love it. I love it though. This is good stuff, man. Yes. I mean, as we talk about this, and it even goes into these are relationships, they're working relationships, and then of course there are, relationships between a man and a woman, whatever, whatever your relationship is. Let me say that, whatever your relationship is. Here's one. It says, signs your partner is sabotaging your success. Mm-hmm. And that's so odd that we have to even talk about this kind of stuff, but it really does happen.
It does.
It's crazy.
It is.
But the person that you live with, the person that you living your life with, they are actually, it's called signs your partner is sabotaging your success. Mm-hmm. That's so weird to me. You might realize that your partner doesn't encourage you to follow your dreams, no matter how big or small, or if they make you feel guilty for being ambitious, working hard, or reaching your goals. Mm-hmm. That's something. Mm-hmm. That your partner can be sabotaging your success.
Which really is self-sabotage.
Which is self-sabotage. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah.
Because you are one with that person.
Yeah.
And if you're doing it, then it's really for the greater good of everybody.
Right.
At some point. The at the end of that, it's the hope that we all are successful. Mm-hmm. So I'm making the sacrifice, or my partner may be making the sacrifice to make money for the greater good for everyone, to be a benefactor of my success or your partner's success, or maybe it's your child. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you're right. I like the way you put that. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so 9 types of self-sabotaging behavior, right?
Okay, I'm excited to hear this.
Right? So here we go. Number 1, you're a procrastinator. Mm-hmm. That's scary. Mm-hmm. This is someone who is constantly putting things off and waiting until the last possible minute. This behavior wastes time or creates unproductive time, sets them up to believe they can only achieve by putting things off, and never lets them get ahead. Mm-hmm. So you always find yourself behind.
Procrastination. That's a big one.
That's a big one, right?
Yeah. I don't procrastinate as much as I used to.
I think we all, I think
remember
at some point
when I was younger, I did, though. I would put stuff off.
What?
Bills, everything.
Everything.
I remember when I was really in my early 20s and I first started paying bills and stuff. And I'll pay that later. I'll pay it later. I'll do that later. Homework, that later. Yeah. Everything was later.
Yeah.
And then once I became a wife and a mother, that worked for about 6 months. And I was like, my life was out of control. I was like, you know what? I can't live like this.
Live like that.
That was when I knew.
Yeah.
I've got to get on things. I got to get ahead of things.
Like right now.
Yeah. I
That's
can't
so
let
true.
stuff go.
That's so true. I got a quick one too. I remember when I first lost my license. I was 20. I want to say I was 22. Mm-hmm. 22. And I was coming through Davidson County. I've told this before on this platform, but I was 22. Didn't even know I was self-sabotaging myself. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Unconsciously, you just don't realize what you're doing later on.
Right.
And Candi, I had the worst driving record. Girl, I was getting tickets, speeding tickets, just not going to court either.
Yeah.
Candi,
oh Lord,
just not going to court. Man, I ain't paying that ticket. And they was piling up.
Uh-huh.
And I was telling somebody this story, but Candi, I went from 20. I was 22 years old, and I didn't get my my license back. So I was driving dirty from 22, going to court, getting caught, just all kind of not paying the tickets.
No jail time?
No jail time. That's what's so funny, right? So I got pulled. Here's where things begin to change. I got pulled over. Man, where was I at? Now, mind you, by this time, Candi, I'm like 37, 38. Mm-hmm. So by this time, it's been 16 years, man.
Wait a minute. 16 years that you were driving without a license?
I'm not even done. Candi, I didn't get my driver's license back. When I tell this story, people like, you got to be kidding me. I didn't have my driver's license for 23 years.
Oh, my gosh.
Candi, from 22 to the age of 45, I was without my license.
I've never heard of such a thing. Never heard of
this. This is self-sabotaging at its finest.
What do we do? How do you?
Boy, my mama.
Oh, okay.
Mama was helping me. You hear me? As I had to go to work. I had, and I had so many problems with the child support because I would get caught and pulled over and kept losing jobs and was walking here. Like, it created so many problems for me till not only was I self-sabotaging me, I was messing up everything around me.
Right.
The inconsistencies with everything that I was doing because I didn't go to court.
Wow.
So Candi, from 22 to 23, 22 to 45, I was without my license.
Wow.
And I remember, I can talk about it now.
Yeah.
Girl, I was switching them license tags out. I was stealing license tags just so I could get to work. So from a visual standpoint, I wouldn't get pulled over. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing all kind of just stupid.
I mean, that's way harder than just
going to court. And it's way harder, Candi. So then, let me tell you what's so stupid about it. When I look back on it, I was like, why in the hell was I doing that? Right. When I look back on it, like, I was just self-sabotaging myself, like constantly. And then finally, at 45, I went and got my driver's license.
How did you feel?
It was the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
It was the best feeling in the world. At 4, I might have been.
You was probably,
girl, I probably been 43.
I got my calling your mama. I got my license.
Girl, I feel like I was 16.
Well, Chris, I'm glad. I'm glad you finally got your license.
And then I went and got my CDLs like right after that.
Excellent. Yeah.
So I even took it a step further and got my CDLs. So I drove trucks and buses for a long time. You know what I'm saying? In peace.
Yeah.
And I was telling a good friend of mine, I was telling him the other day, I was like, dude, I almost had like a moment where a cop got behind me. And here's the trauma and the trauma that I perpetuated on myself, though, right? Mm-hmm. I'm driving down, I'm in Greensboro, and I'm on my way home. And, when you're coming down, Bryan Boulevard right there. But if you're coming in from the back way, 73, again, when you're coming in from the back way, it's real dark on that highway. It's not a whole lot of lights. So, man, a state trooper was behind me, and I was just paranoid. Boy, what the heck? Oh, my God. And then I said, whoa, wait a minute. I got my driver's license. Right. I'm tripping.
Right.
But
so used to
living like that for so long,
wow.
You had to snap out of it and say, wait a minute, you don't live your life like that no more. Relax, dude. Relax.
But there's a lot of guys. I've talked to a couple of guys that have gone a long time without their license.
And I think, man, I'm telling you, 23 years. And I think I don't know why. I just think we don't like to go to court.
Yeah.
There is a fear of us going to court and wondering like, oh my God, maybe they're going to find this. Maybe this right here pop up. Maybe I go to jail. Maybe if I go today, maybe I got a warrant that I don't know about. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of layers that come with that. Right. But at any rate, that was one way that I
that's huge.
That's huge, right?
Yeah,
that's wild. I can laugh about it now. Yeah. Like now I can look at myself and say, man, what the hell was you thinking about?
Right.
Just get your darn license. So number 2, the overthinker. See, I was overthinking the situation, right? The overthinking, this person thinks everything to death in a way that puts extreme emphasis on the negative, right? Excuse me. Even something small can turn into a spiral of anxious thoughts. This behavior strips their confidence and creates constant self-doubt.
Wow.
Overfocuses them on the negative and sets up a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's so true.
It forces them to need control and certainty. Number 3, the assumer. You know, I like this word right here, assumer, because at the front of that word is ass. You look like an ass when you assume things because you don't know.
Ain't asking questions, not communicating about it or nothing.
Yeah. So the assumer, and assuming is someone who's always predicting the future and acting on those predictions before seeing if they come true. They decide how they are going to feel, what is going to happen, and how people are going to react before even entering into a situation. It prevents them from taking action and keeps them stuck. It closes them off to new opportunities and never allows them to prove themselves wrong.
Yes.
So those were the 3. Am I right? Or was that 4? Yeah. Yeah, 1, 2.
And at the bottom,
those were 3.
Underneath all of that is just fear.
Just fear.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just afraid, again, of losing. All right, afraid that something's going to go wrong, afraid of losing, afraid of responsibility, afraid of not living up to the responsibility. So if I just don't have, because I'll tell you, when I went through my dry spell of not having money when I was building myself back up from my divorce. Yeah. It was actually a pretty good feeling because somebody asked me to do something. I could just say, I don't have it. Yeah. I could just say, I don't have it. You know, at that point, I didn't have a lot of stuff. No, I was actually at peace. Yeah. Because nobody asked me for anything. They knew I was really struggling. That was the time I could really just focus on me and get myself together. Yeah. And once I did that, then it was like, okay, now you can do this, and now you can do that, and now you can do this, and now you can do that. Then you had that feeling of, well, everybody was there for me. Now I need to give back. Right? Yeah. So now I'm caregiver, and now I'm this, and now I'm that. Yeah. And my stress level actually went way up once I became self-actualized and grew and got my money right and got my house and got this and that. Yeah. My stress level increased. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just now really thinking about that. Boy, it was real peaceful to get that EBT card. Yeah. And they say, you got $565 on there. Yeah. Yeah. And then I say, kids, what you want from the grocery store? We get ready to go, So when they say, it depends, I guess, what type of poor. And I think that's what they mean when they say a poverty mentality. I was going to say that. I was in school the whole time, getting my bachelor's and my master's and my doctorate degree and everything. Yeah. So I was around a lot of people that were doing things. Absolutely. So it kept me from settling into that. But boy, when I had to come off them food stamps. Yeah. Yeah. I was like thinking, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, food is important. It is very important. Like, I don't know if I want to let this go or not. It's easy to get entrapped. Yeah. And that was that thing between, do I want to move forward or do I want to self-sabotage? Do I want to stay right here? Yeah. How many people stay stuck and stay right there? Exactly. They're okay with getting that $500 a month in EBT rewards. I ran across that EBT card not too long ago. I said, you know what? I remember I used to call and check on that balance.
Come on, man. Yeah.
I'm not trying to say that, to whom much is given, much is required.
Yes.
So there is a reason why we self-sabotage. We're fearful. We're trying to escape things that we know or feel can swallow us up.
Yeah. That's so true.
That's
so true.
Like, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah. You ever had somebody ask you to do something that you've always wanted to do?
Yeah.
And as soon as they ask you, you feel that heavy feeling of like, if I do this, then that's going to get the ball rolling. Am I really ready for this?
Am I really ready for it? Wow.
Chris, I got a great opportunity for you. I'm going to take the radio show and we're going to and you have a mixed feeling. You're excited, but then you might have to take off and go to New York this time. You might have to be at the country this time or that time. It's rolling. Now you're thinking about your relationship. Now you're thinking about your comfort zone, right? Yeah. You got to come outside of that.
Yeah.
So self-sabotage is definitely a form of protection.
Yes. It is. In
our minds at the time that we're doing it.
Yes. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. That's a great point that you brought up. We can find ourselves in those situations, and you know what? I'll say this too. It's okay. If you need EBT and you need those assistance for a season, but when you don't have a poverty mentality, you understand that that's just what it's for.
That's it.
I can't stay here because if I stay here, I'm going to be in a trap.
Definitely. And if the government decides they're going to switch up, you're done.
And I'll be honest with you, there's no freedom in that, really.
None.
You find yourself trapped in that. You know what I'm saying? You literally can find yourself trapped in that. And if you're not careful and you don't find yourself doing something to better your situation, I've known of women who were getting the government assistance so far as for housing too. Yeah. But I also know women who used that as an advantage and took advantage of the classes that were offered about building your credit and how to buy a home.
That's right.
And then they help you get a home.
They sure do.
So when you don't have poverty mentality, and then those are the moves that you make.
That's right.
You understand, okay, I need this. I need to do this for 2-3 years. Now I need to find out what do they have available for me in order for me to take this further. Yeah. Because you don't want to stay there. And then, what's so crazy, Candi? That's for anything. That's just like for anything, I still do research today for this. Yeah. Where are the grants at so that I can do this, so I can do this, so I can do this, so I can do this for the team, or I can make sure that they have this or they have that. It's constant. And if you don't know how to write a grant, then guess what? You got to figure out who writes the grant. How can they put their salary within the grant? Making sure that it doesn't hurt us, but it help us in the long run. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that's with everything. And you may need somebody to help you get over a hump until you're able to do better.
Right.
So, in that sense, if we can stay away from self-sabotaging. Self-sabotaging says, listen, I'm going to stay with this EBT. Yeah. I'm going to keep getting these benefits.
Right. Or whatever. When I had a salon and my business was growing.
Yeah.
And my taxes were increasing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I was thinking, man, I don't know if I want to,
you got to pay them.
I might want to just make this amount.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to be doing all of this over here.
And that's so true.
I was like finding myself self-sabotaging because I was afraid of that extra tax responsibility.
But that come along with it, though.
And then I ended up realizing that if you want something, then you got to report your income.
You just have to.
And then if you're saying, okay, well, I'm only making $25,000 a year because I don't want to pay all of these taxes, right?
Man, go ahead,
but then you want a house.
That's you got to pay property tax.
Then now you want to represent that you're making 75. You know, and so, and that was when I was young again.
Sure.
And I was thinking, you gotta hit it.
Yeah. You got to.
Ain't no half stepping.
Ain't no half stepping.
If you want to be something,
and you just have to
and accomplish something, you got to
cover everything.
Yeah. And you got to do the things that you don't want to do. Comes with it. And self-sabotaging ain't gonna do nothing but make it all the more worse.
All the worse. And that's so true. So listen, I hope you guys have heard something today that could help you become better when it comes to self-sabotaging. And if you are, please stay away from it. Stay away from it. Don't self-sabotage yourself. Don't overthink a thing.
Right.
And take care of it. Don't procrastinate. Go ahead and take care of it. If it hits your mailbox, you know you got to pay it, man. Please. Take care of your business, handle your business. And I'll say this, every opportunity may not be for you, but at the same time, don't self-sabotage yourself out of an opportunity. At least find out what the opportunity is offering you. So again, this topic today was about self-sabotaging. We tried to cover it the best way we could. And, it's our job to try to bring you different things from our perspective, from experiences in life, in hopes that you can become better. So keep being great. I'm Car.Ross Sr.
And I am Candi T.Jeter.
Yes. And listen, Candi, tell the folks about your book.
Go to thelettinggobook.com if you want to understand how to let go in life. thelettinggobook.com. And you can also reach me at Candi, Candit, Jeter, Jeter. I am Candi T.Jeter on Instagram.
All right. There you have it. And make sure you check out the Ross Cloud podcast on our Lunchbox Dreams Media Group, LLC, on YouTube. You can check out some of our cool videos that we've done. Please like and subscribe to our page. You can follow us. You can follow myself, Car.Ross Sr. You can follow me at Ross Cloud Podcast. That's at Ross Sr. On Instagram, you can follow me at Ross Cloud Podcast on Twitter as well. So listen, I hope you guys are having a great day. Hey, check us out on Facebook too. I do have the Ross Cloud Podcast on Facebook. Please like and follow us. All right. Make it a great day and keep being great. Peace.